but Metry Seaga is the 21st head of the private sector organization of Jamaica. He joins us now. Metry, congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Simon, thanks. Thanks for having me.
You are a fairly different character to your predecessor. What's going to occupy your thoughts, your mind, your activities, certainly in say, the first month in charge?
Well, Keith has left some big shoes to fill.
Yes.
He one of the main topics that he concentrated on, the organization concentrated on, was crime. Mm-hmm. And there will be no change there. This scourge that we have affects our country and the people of our country has got to be addressed and dealt with in a meaningful way. That is certainly on the forefront of my mind and the rest of the association's vice president's mind.
So no change in terms of your emphasis. You're in agreement with Duncan in relation to the organization's support for states of emergency and so on.
Simon, I'm going to ask you to give me a little time.
Yes.
To sit with both the government, the opposition, the police force, the powers that be, to come to my own conclusions where that is concerned. However, I have met with Keith and he has given me adequate information to say that, listen, it is not a panacea, it is not the fix, but it is certainly a part of the toolbox that we need to use. So I'm going to beg you to give me a little time on that. I was appointed last night, and I need to form my own opinion on it, but certainly the way that we have to get a fix is by getting everybody together and on the same page. What cannot be useful for us is to have the opposition saying one thing, the government saying one thing, and this group agreeing with them and that group agreeing with another person. It's just not helpful, and we have not reaped the success. And nothing that we have tried has reaped success going forward.
You said to give you a little more time, and I understand that fully, but your members are the movers and shakers, not only in business, but indeed in support of political parties. Are you looking to wield that power? And I don't know if Keith did. I don't recall too many comments about using that power of campaign financing to influence the parties to go in the direction that maybe your members want. Are you likely to wield that power in a more aggressive way than maybe he did?
Well, let me answer you this way. Nothing is off the table. And if that's what it takes, then that's what we will have to do. Our objective is to get results. I am a results-oriented person, and I need to make sure, we need to make sure that we fix the problems that we have. And there are many. Now, there's a lot of good happening, and I accept that. And I laud the persons who have made those things happen. But there are some things that we need to address and we can't rest.
Yes. One of the charges against your predecessor was that he tended to side more with the government on issues. Given your last name, there might be a suggestion that you are likely to do the same. Disabuse me of that idea.
Well, look at my track record at the JMEA for 4 years.
Yes.
I was deputy president for 4 years and then president for 4 years. And I think that it was crystal clear that I did no such thing. I am a Jamaican first, and I have never been in a polling booth with anybody else. So nobody knows how I vote.
Yeah.
I can ask you to judge me by my action in the past and what is going to happen in the future. Judge me by.
One of the things I've always appreciated about you is your commitment to a business in an area that a lot of people would avoid. And one of my concerns about narrowing the gap between the haves and the have-nots is to have more businesses either invest or put their businesses in inner city communities.
Yeah.
Is that a pie in the sky desire, or is it a possibility? Is it something you would try and push?
It is not a pie in the sky, and it is not only a possibility. It is a necessity, Simon.
Mm-hmm.
It is very important for us to produce our way out of the fire that we are in. We can't service our way out of it, right? Funnily this morning I was looking at somebody said something on the new AI technology that's out there.
Yes.
That's going to make a lot of industries obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting with my team this morning, and somebody said to me, I want to see AI build a chair for me and show me. They can't. Production,
yes.
value added is the only way we are going to get ourselves out of the fire we're in. And I am going to push that, and I'm going to push for more businesses to come to Jamaica, local businesses to expand, foreign businesses to come here and partner with local businesses to listen. Every single problem we have can be traced back to the size of our economy.
Mm-hmm.
Our economy is too small. I was listening to the Minister of Finance with you a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have steadied the ship. We are on the right fiscal path. Thankfully to Peter Phillips, who was there before, and now this administration who has held what he started. That is critically important, and we needed that. But we can't stop. What we have to do is we have to build the economy. Our economy is too small. So we hear from the IMF that we need to keep our public wage bill at 8% of GDP. But the largest set of public sector workers that we have 11,000 police. We need 18,000.
Yes.
That's putting a square peg in a round hole.
Yes, yes.
So we cannot grow without, we cannot improve without growing our economy. We just have to have a bigger economy.
This is a conversation you'll be having with them, presumably.
Absolutely, because we have to have a bigger economy. 3 million people. We can't manufacture for 3 million people. We have to manufacture for the world. And the way that we do that is by using the systems that have been set up, the regimes that have been set up, like the special economic zone, like the manufacturing incentives that are out there, to build economies, new ventures, new things for us to export and grow the size of our economy.
Okay, some of that is politics, but let me ask you what is it your members want in terms of tax relief, in terms of incentives for manufacturers, in terms of reduction in taxes on materials that are brought into the country? What are some of those things that you'll be saying to the Minister of Finance? I need some relief here in order to play the part in growing the economy.
The truth is that the reliefs are there already. Manufacturers do not pay any duty or GCT on raw materials or equipment. That's there. The special economic zone regime is in place, which gives reduced tax rates if you fall into that regime, of effectively 7.5%. So the platform is there now. The truth is that we as business people have not taken advantage of many of those regimes and have tried to sell our goods and services right here within Jamaica. We're too small. And you see certain companies now, like Grace Kennedy is doing business in the United States, and they're doing business in Africa, and in Europe, and that's where we have to look. We have to look externally.
I know you have to run, but I'm begging you 5 more minutes after this break. Can you?
Go ahead.
All right, good. We're talking to Metry Seaga, new president of the PSOJ. Couple more questions when we come back.
Maintain your
elected Metry Seaga to the position of president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, the 21st person to hold that title, and replacing Keith Duncan in that role. Metry Seaga is talking to us now. I know in the past the government is a big employer, is a big importer of materials for offices, etc. And you have in the past have urged government to spend more on local industry. Some say that is pandering and will result in an inefficient private sector. You agree, disagree? Have you changed that position?
No, I'm not changing that position. And inefficient private sector is not what we are speaking about. What we are speaking about is giving local manufacturing companies an equal opportunity. The way many of our procurement documents are written do not even give us an opportunity. And listen, this is not, it's a matter void of debate. We cannot live upstairs and have a shop downstairs, and every morning we'll walk through our own shop and walk down the road and spend money at a foreign shop. It just doesn't make sense. Now, I accept that there are certain things that we can't buy here. Motor vehicles are one that we don't manufacture. Yet, there are televisions, there are many things. But it's going to take the will of the political directorate to say to their agencies and ministries, when and where you can, you must buy locally manufactured products. And that is how you will get companies to build up their capacity and be able to export.
Okay. You know you're talking to an old socialist, so I have to ask you this. I've always felt that our problem is not a shortage of wealth, but the problem is with wealth distribution. What about salaries? A lot of your workers in the private sector would suggest that they are poorly paid, certainly in comparison maybe to even the Caribbean and further afield. Is that something you can address?
Sure, and it's going to be addressed by, again, the level of business that we are doing. Companies cannot pay what they can't pay. And I don't see any distortion in Jamaica of companies being wealthy and not paying their workers. As a matter of fact, in our region, throughout South America, when I speak with the IMF, they come high in the region. So it comes down to a matter of cost of living and other things. But these are not systemic problems that you're speaking about, Simon. Once we have more wealth in our country, then we can pay more money. Okay. And I just don't see that growth. I think people in Jamaica, we have a very vibrant union structure in Jamaica, and make sure that people get their pound of flex.
Yes, I'm not sure it's as vibrant as it should be. But final question, because I know you have to run. Yeah. When you sit with the Minister of Finance or government ministers in general, tomorrow or next week or next Friday, what's the first thing you're going to be saying to them as the new head of the PSOJ? We
need to fix crime, and we need to fix the bureaucracy that exists so that many of the policies and programs that we want to get implemented get implemented. Okay. Thank you, sir. Congratulations on the new post. I know you will, and I know you're going to do very well in that role. Thank you, Simon. I really appreciate it. All right, man. Take care. Metry Seaga, new president of the PSOJ.